Hello, everybody. Welcome. It is Monday night. Well, now Tuesday morning. It's the Raw reactions. And here we go. Things I like, things I didn't like, following a whole weekend of pro wrestling. And I'm going to lead off with something that may not be the headline, but it's my headline. Bayley and Lyra was my favorite match of the entire weekend. Perhaps besides Jon Moxley and Hangman Page, just because of the significance and, the stipulation. But I would put Bayley and Lyra up as a match of the year candidate. That was hard hitting, told an unbelievable story, and a true career moment for Lyra. Like you felt the little sister had to finally beat big sister to get time, in the main event, or to face Becky Lynch, her Becky Hogan, who, by the way, played a part, came out in the red and yellow. Don't think we didn't notice. No, but that was pretty cool to see. I also like, something big is happening with Bayley, because tonight was the first time they mentioned a losing streak, like a huge losing streak for Bayley. In terms of she hasn't won a match since returning from WrestleMania and the whole singles thing. I think it might be worse, actually. So to keep her out there at ringside while Lyra celebrates in victory, while Becky comes out, has the stare down moment, and Bayley is just sitting out there. That's good stuff. Really good stuff. Again, my favorite match of the whole weekend, besides Moxley and Hangman Page. All right, second thing I liked, of course, the return of Roman Reigns. Obviously, OTC lives for those reactions. But with Seth Rollins out of the picture, what's the strategy here? Are we doing just Roman versus Braun? Are we doing Roman, Jey Uso versus Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed? What's the strategy here? I do like the acknowledgement of the family, of course, immediately helping Jey Uso get up. And again, the best thing about Triple H writing these shows is he doesn't just forget about previous rivalries just because, they're baby faces. He should help Punk up. No. And Punk knew that. Punk got up on his own. Roman looked at Punk. And, they knew what it was, but they both directed their hatred towards Paul Heyman. So we'll see what happens there. CM Punk winning the gauntlet, but it's about that time for him to win the big one. Time to win the big one. For me, even as a CM Punk guy, I'm a top CM Punk fan. Now or never in a championship picture. I would even like for them to up the stakes and have Gunther say, hey, you lose, you don't get the challenge for a world title. All right, fine, it's still AEW stipulation. You don't get the challenge for a world title for a year. In the case of CM Punk, a year might as well be 5. So, it's just time. Like, your franchise player is there. He's done everything you need him to do. It's time to give him the strap. That'll be a great way to close out SummerSlam Saturday. CM Punk celebrating with the World Heavyweight Championship. I do want to also acknowledge Judgment Day. I thought Judgment Day had a great night. Finn Balor continues to stir the pot. The pot. Dom moving like crazy. Seems like he's medically cleared, or he will be. Evaluation next week. AJ Styles praying. Dom, like, this is hilarious. And of course, Finn gaslighting Roxanne Perez has her goals. Raquel Rodriguez might need to start studying up some Kevin Nash comments there. I need to look more into those. But apparently Kevin Nash made a huge influence on Raquel Rodriguez. But keeping Liv in the picture. You're noticing with Liv and Seth Rollins, because they both fit in this, how both Liv and Seth are going to be they're kept in storylines even though they're out. Liv will be back before you know it. Having that picture in the background. And then with Paul Heyman, injury angles, sometimes you get a letdown. But, Paul Heyman saying, look, Seth Rollins has until next June to cash in the Money in the Bank. So unless he gets hit by a bus, he'll be back to cash in. A little murky as far as the update there, but it makes sense there. All right, a couple things I didn't like. I don't like how at the beginning, to me, it felt like a cop-out having Naomi, Iyo Sky, Rhea Ripley in a triple threat. I think the build should have been kind of similar to what they did with the IC title. Next week, Iyo, Rhea Ripley, main event of Monday Night Raw. Make it an Iron Women match. You could do 30 minutes, do whatever. Winner gets Naomi. Not both of them, just one. So again, it almost feels like we're back to the triple threat situation from WrestleMania, where in this case, sub out Bianca Belair, put in Naomi. Not a fan. Naomi had a great night. Great heel promo. She's going to try to stay heel as long as she can, but at some point, you may have to turn her. But they need her as a heel on Monday Night Raw. But I think this is a case that warranted a one-on-one match. I don't like the triple threat. To me, it screams, get Rhea on the card, but Iyo takes the pin. That deal. I'm going to technically put down Nikki Bella and Chelsea Green. The match was not that good. Again, following up after Bayley, Lyra. But with that being said, I love what commentary, Corey Graves in particular, what he said. He said, look, Nikki Bella, Hall of Famer, right? And she deserves to be a Hall of Famer. But everyone who's competing now studied her. So she has to be back up to speed on things, and she has to pick up something new as opposed to the current women having to pick up something new. They study her. They know what to expect. What can Nikki Bella deliver? So, that's really kind of where you stand from there. All right. That's it. Going to bed. I'm going to try to watch a little bit of Great American Bash. If anything, Ethan Page and Ricky Saints. Old habits. Ricky Saints. Going to watch that. But we might have to have an uncomfortable conversation tomorrow. Either tomorrow or on the show. About the lack of strength with the NXT men's division. That might have to be a conversation. But, yeah. We'll just, yeah. So, that concludes it. Can't wait to see Jordan Grace, her response to Blake Monroe. Saw the social media there, so a lot of good stuff. And again, morning, noon, and night. W Energy. Get 10% off if you type in the promo code SHWP10. That's when you order at w.gg. All right. With that being said, it's time for bed. Have a good night, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow for the NXT review.